They put in a couple of new elevators at the Astoria Boulevard station, and this is one of them. I think they opened, they're still kind of new, like maybe within the last 3 or 4 months. They went live way ahead of schedule. And I've made the mistake twice now of assuming that I can take one elevator up and then transfer over to the other one. And you can do that, but you have to pay a subway fare. But I would think that if you're in a wheelchair, or if you just only want to use this overpass to avoid the quagmire of this interchange, I would think any reasonable token booth clerk would be happy to let you pass through. And why do we call them token booth clerks anyway? What's interesting about this passage is I was watching the movie Fame from 1981. That movie's always been a guilty pleasure of mine. I binge watch it. But I was watching, and there's a scene where Doris Finsecker and her mother are walking and talking. It's where Doris says she's going to start calling herself Dominique DuPont. And her mother says that sounds like a hooker's name. But I was watching that. I don't know how many times I've seen that movie, but just in the last few years, last time I watched it a few years ago, I said to myself, I recognize that passageway. I recognize that hallway, or whatever you want to call it. And it was this. And it looks a little different now. But there's no question that is where that scene was filmed. I was actually rather pleased with myself for catching that, because I combed a bunch of those filming location websites that are out there, and I didn't find anybody that had identified the location for that particular scene. And I'd have to watch the movie over again, but I'm pretty sure it's the only scene not filmed in New York. I mean, not filmed in Manhattan. This interchange is like a Bermuda Triangle for cars. I know 3 people whose cars have been totaled here in accidents, and I know of other people as well. It's just a horrible place for driving. Another interesting thing about the elevators is that I tried one of them out within the first few days that they were activated, and somebody was standing there filming me. This well-dressed dude with a video camera and a tripod, and I never followed up on this or looked for it, but my guess he was with one of those hyper-local Western Queens websites, or maybe even NY1 or something like that, just getting stock type video of the new elevators, people using them. So maybe I was famous for a minute on account of riding an elevator.